hello all of you. So thank you all for, look at this big house. This is wonderful. Hello,
Okay.
Not everyone. So thank you all for coming, and it's a special time for us to say congratulations, and I'll say the good. I won't say goodbye, just the good. And Lila's mommy and daddy prepared a little something for her, a very special person. And Izzy did too. So we're going to start with Vicki has a little something prepared for her.
This is Lila's story, which is why I asked you all to come in, because this is story time.
Can you speak loudly, please?
This is
The almond side has a hearing. If you didn't know.
Lila's story. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. When Lila was 2 and 3, she loved to tell us stories, and they always started this way. The stories often included monsters. They would be variants of this. Once upon a time, Isabel go everywhere to the bushes. The monsters is growled. Once upon a time, Daddy go everywhere to the bushes. The monsters is growled. Once upon a time. Mommy go, this is quoting. I actually wrote this down. Mommy go.
You can't invent stuff like this.
The monsters is growled. Sometimes, for emphasis, the monsters growled and growled and growled. And sometimes, after the climax, there would be closure. Then the monsters stopped growling. The end. Chloe isn't finished. Then she would, and after the end, she would say, that was a short story. And then she would poll us to learn what part we liked best. Lila's monster stories had characters, action, and a clear beginning and end. And they required listeners to respond. Some of you know I'm an English teacher. Lila also had a very specific way that she liked to be read to. So now here's where you have to get into my lap. Already at age 1, she would reach to be placed into the reader's lap, scoop to settle herself, and place the book in the reader's right hand. Reader's right hand. If the reader didn't put her other arm around Lila to hold the book open, like that, then she would adjust that hand too. She would wiggle her feet and then be ready for her book. So wait, there was a picture for that one too. Oh, there's you! No, actually,
It is
I think, Sophia, were these your pajamas?
Yeah, that was me.
Were they your pajamas?
Probably.
We got a lot of leftovers. I mean, hand-me-down. The world within Lila's imagination and the world beyond her have always been fascinating places to Lila. She has always been adventurous. She taught Izzy the thrill of racing down slides. Oh, wait. It's at the dentist.
Love that part.
notoriously into the deep end of swimming pools at age 2. She loved scary adventure movies, hugging Peter's arm as needed. She and I began reading Harry Potter when she was 7. Following each evening's reading, she would reread the chapters herself since she now knew she could endure whatever came her way, particularly Voldemort. Leila spent many years upside down and sideways. She would climb play equipment and furniture and grip or hang like a monkey. I couldn't find a picture of that. I probably was too afraid at the time, so I didn't have any. Experiencing the world from whatever angle she found herself in. As the story of Leila advanced, she grew more aware of beauty and pain in the world. When Izzy explained to Leila in 2001 that her grandmother's chemo treatment cut her hair, Leila responded, "The treatment cut her hair and she got better." A few months later, at 3, Leila asked me about the 9/11 attacks. "Mommy, are the people who died are okay? If we put a flag in our window and people who died, will they be okay?" She knew there was difficulty and sadness and pain, and she wanted to believe it could be fixed. At Yavna and Notre Dame, Leila grew as a person whose head was always thinking, or reading, or watching something, and whose body was always moving. She became a dancer. This is much later. She became a dancer and gradually discovered that through dance she could express some of the power of her thinking and feeling. In her senior year, she choreographed a dance to represent the pain of social injustice and the power of human-to-human healing. As Leila observed the ways in which the world was broken, she began to discover that she could be part of the fixing. When she was in middle school, she volunteered with Izzy to play with infants and children at the YWCA summer school. When it was her turn in her social justice class at Yavna to advocate for an organization, she worked on behalf of the YWCA Women's and Children's Services. She's volunteered as well over the years at Planned Parenthood and is currently creating an interview database for the stories of clients served by the organization. She interned for Cindy Chavez's office, she's our county supervisor, and the Office on Women's Policy, where she drafted policy changes for women in prison, and particularly pregnant women and new mothers in prison. And now, instead of entering Princeton, her objections to her own entitlement have led her to serve as in India, where she'll likely do advocacy and direct service with victims of human trafficking. I have a feeling that Leila's adventures have not reached its climax, and we certainly don't know its ending. She will continue facing the monsters that growl, and she'll do so with her wise smile that will disarm the monsters and teach them to respect her. Leila has been given a head start. Now we get a sort of fireworks of photos. Leila has been given a head start by amazing grandparents and teachers. She knows that her learning curve will be steep. And that there won't be a clear path of logic. In her learning in India. She knows she'll sometimes need to stand where sense would tell her to sit. She may sometimes need to sit in the lap of the bear instead of fearing the wild things. It's both of you in the lap.
No, but
Well, all right. A little poetic justice, please. But Leila is up for the challenge, and her story will grow in its power and insight, and people will respond. Leila teaches us to be stronger. Ever since she told us stories as a little girl, she has been our teacher. She is our guide. It continually surprised us when she was little how wise and how clear a guide she was. It no longer surprises us. Sometimes we're the tourists with our cameras, just along for the ride. She's ready to fly off, jet position, into her next adventure. We hope she'll stay in touch. And we love her very much. The end.
Want me to go next? You want me to go next? Want me to go?
Leila, when I think of you, I think of legs flung over the back of the couch. I think of harmonizing to hide and seek in the bathroom, you chastising me for singing the wrong words for the 4th time. I think of flashing our underwear in the mirror in the elevator when we were little, daring the doors not to open and see a person standing there. I think of us playing the jukebox game and trying to get songs stuck in each other's heads before school in the morning. I think of busting out our Barbies at 6 a.m. in hotel rooms and playing under the in the bathroom sink so that we wouldn't awaken our sleeping parents. I think of those awkward middle school years of fighting to eat the smaller piece of cake, and then those blossoming high school years of you wanting to be a reckless teenager and demanding I would drive you to In-N-Out at midnight. I think of you going down the slide when I was too nervous to do so, and then you snapping me out of my childish rants in the car. So much of my image of you consists of you being this daring, slightly more mature than me goofball. But then I see this woman you've become, and I need to adjust that image. You're the girl who schools me on white privilege and challenges my misconceptions of mental illness. Over the past few years, I've watched you grow from a slightly disoriented girl into a much more oriented woman. You listen to the news to a degree that makes me feel like I am an ignorant bumble every time I come home and try to engage you in current events. The way I see you reading so many different news sources and trying to get the more full picture of the world, I see so much of the intellect from Abba and from Opie that I so admire. You have an opinion about everything, but I also so admire your ability to recognize when your knowledge hits its limits and when to defer to others. Whether it's coordinating potential programs for pregnant women in the prison system, or elevating the stories of women that have been served by Planned Parenthood, everything you commit yourself to aims at bettering the world around you. And it's powerful to see you thriving in that space. You are strong and impressive, and you have adult jobs, and go off on weekend trips with your friends, and every once in a while I feel like you're slipping through my fingers. And then I see you like crouching down in my garden and picking lettuce like a rabbit, and I know that we're gonna be okay. You're a woman of might. You're a woman who knows how to listen and when to speak up. You are such an incredible person of patience, whether it be with your VIA participants or with your grandparents, and you've taught me so many lessons. You've taught me how to make room in a conversation for a person who is slightly less verbose. You've taught me that your worth is not contingent on the way you're treated in the workplace. You've taught me that trespassing isn't always the best idea, but most of the time. You have taught me that dance can be a philosophy and a culture, and you've taught me what it means to be an amazing sister. Thinking about you going off to India brings me to tears, and I know you think everything brings me to tears, especially but whenever I think of you going away, I remember what you said when we were sitting on the porch in Cologne. You turned to me and said, "Izzy, we're going to be sisters for the rest of our lives." And that we are.
What do you name?
Dawn and Alyssa.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Thank you, Izzy. I have a few things also I want to say to Leila. I was trying to figure out the way to convey them, the way to say them. That, well, so don't be shocked, but I'm going to try some slam poetry. For those of you that don't know who knows what slam poetry is? Who doesn't know what slam poetry is? I wish there were more of you so when I do it wrong, you'll think that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so I wrote this slam poetry. It needs glasses. And the name of the poem is Leila. Okay. I've watched some YouTubes of this, so. I met this girl. She is a daughter, my daughter. She is a sister. She is a granddaughter. She is an aunt. She's an uncle. She's a friend. She's a neighbor. She is everything to so many everyone's, and together we are hers, and she is ours. She came into my hands. She came into our hands, a beautiful bundle of nearly 18 years ago. This little being with a squinched up forehead, what could she be thinking, and what is ahead, and to where, and to how, and to why? Which we can only discover if we watch closely and listen. Listen and watch very closely. I am there, I listen, I watch, and I am so lucky at my vantage point of the closely. Did I do the steps right? Leila grows and grows, and first she grows in my arms, and then grows into my embrace, and grows into her sister's clothes, and grows into her hands, and into her feet, and into her point shoes, and into her jazz shoes, and into her dance stage, and into our hearts, and into the hearts of others, and slowly, and more quickly she grows up, and she grows into someone beautiful, and then she grows somewhat, somehow, some way out of my reach. But I do not fear, I do not cry, I do not fret, because I know and I see that she still reaches for me. We discover the magic of humor, the crazy of politics, the wonder of so much to wonder, and the magic of wordplay. I say, she slapped me on the left side, and there feel now numb. I am all right now. Because of my puns, my family asked me to have a brain transplant. Then they changed my mind. Leila runs into the living room and proclaimed to us that she can go to India. I felt a little yellow in the pit of my stomach. You could say that that day I died a little in my gut. Some say Trump may be the next president.
No. Oh.
But I do not, you hear me? I do not give him permission. A little English grammar humor there. And we share stories at dinner. So Leila, I read today that you know the Addams family. Well, the one who played Lurch, it was his hand, thing, that always came out of the box. When both Lurch and Thing were to be together in a scene, they used, well, you could say they used a hand in. And we shared stories at dinner. So Leila, I read today, I read that one. We laughed, yes we laughed. We laugh because we listen. We laugh because we know what makes us, what makes you, what makes each other laugh. We laugh because we share. We laugh because we anticipate. We laugh maybe not always outwardly, but always at least inwardly. We laugh because we want to elicit laughter from the other. We laugh because we anticipate hearing each other. I think I do this 3 times. I stand here looking into my future, our future from the perspective of the past. The past of dress-up princess birthday parties. The past where Leila finds a high spot from which to just jump, and I must be there to catch her. The past of her lying on the living room floor with legs flaying, body twisting, while her head calmly studying math or any subject. As if her whole body is wildly testing the air, while her concentrated mind was testing the knowledge. The past when in one particular dance, at one particular recital, I noticed for the first time that this brick house, happy-go-lucky, prancing little girl has the grace, the fluidity to glide through her movements like I never noticed before. The past of hiking in Alaska in the most beautiful rainforest one's eyes cannot even imagine. The past of family events, of her unwrapping bologna packages for her birthday, of hugging hellos and kissing goodbyes. The past of carrying you, of holding you, of watching you, of catching you, of your head on my shoulder. The past, but I digress. And to the future, of taking your education, of taking your memories of the friend's embrace, of taking your wisdom of working with jailed women, of helping with political campaigns, of embracing your Jewish heritage, of the luxury of loving grandparents, parents, sister, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, friends, the luxury of your experiences, the luxury of remembering you have luxuries. You take your future by collecting your past and leaping into an unknown. You will leave on an adventure by yourself without the luxuries of what you have had. You will leap as you have before, but this time I cannot catch you. You cannot count on me or us. You must come down. You must come down knowing to put your feet down first. And I know you will, as I know you. You are powerful. You are amazing. You are not only my daughter, you are our Leila.
else want to say anything?
We should pay
So, we do have a cake, and